What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, that guy named Jay, checking in, man. So, I've been thinking about something, right? I've been thinking about my pay package. And I think about, like, the how it works, right? And I had to ask myself a question. How differently would this be? Not just this particular job, but just, you know, being a truck driver, whether over the road, local. Well, I'm gonna say over the road. I'm gonna say over the road because local is just a different ball game. Because it is, and that's no disrespect to local, but it is. So I'm thinking as an OTR and regional driver, right? Not home every night. I wonder how differently this would be if I was paid percentage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always hear guys scream and holler and confess their love about percentage, and I just never really gave it a second thought because I've never been paid percentage. I've been paid flat rate, you know, my whole trucking career, except for when I went local to no, I'm lying, I just thought about it. I was paid percentage at the port. I was paid 34% after fuel in the port, you know what I'm saying? So and at MBI I was paid, like, I wouldn't call that percentage, I was paid by the load, you know what I'm saying? So it's just I've just been thinking to myself, wondering which way is better. Is it mileage? Is it percentage? Is it paid by the load? Is it salary? What is the best way to pay a truck driver? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I've argued with the I ain't gonna say I've argued with the percentage guys, but I just haven't subscribed to the whole percentage thing for so long, just because it was just, I never experienced it. But now I'm starting to understand what they be talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for example, but then again, I just don't know, man, because it's like, it's so many different sides of it. Because, like, if I'm flat rate, right, my rate never gonna change. And I'm talking from an owner-operator standpoint. My rate is never gonna change. So as long as I hit the mileage that I'm supposed to hit, then what's the issue? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a lot of the guys that that's leasing to the mega carriers. They don't really care about percentage, i.e. Swift, i.e. Stevens, and I only say those two because I only know two guys. I only know I know people personally who are leasing at those companies. I don't know too many people at Prime. That's percent. I know my boy JMV. I know Smitty, but I don't talk to them as much as I talk to the guys who work at Swift and Stevens. But talking to the guys who run at Stevens and Swift as a lease operator, owner operator, whatever operator, their mindset is they don't really care because, yeah, their flat rate may be lower than what the other guys are getting on their percentage, but they have more consistent miles. They have the consistent freight. They are under the security blanket of this huge company that no matter what they do, for the most part, they're never going to slow down. I never slowed down with Swift. Never. It was never a... if I sat too long with Swift, it was because I was taking too long to get loaded, taking too long to get unloaded, a breakdown, some type of safety issue, I was going home, or I was trying to go in a specific direction, and even then, I never sat too long. It was never a situation where it's just no freight, or the freight is too cheap to haul. It was never that. Granted, it's hard to use those as an examples because they're bigger companies. So when you talk about a single driver, I guess it's different. But just from my experience, what I've seen, talk to the people I talk to, that's why they like flat rate, because they stay moving. Those are guys who don't mind putting 3,000, 4,000 plus miles on the truck. And their trucks tend to be newer, which is why a lot of mega carrier leases are newer trucks. It just, I'm not trying to teach nobody nothing. I'm just saying what I've learned and what it's starting to make sense to me now. You know what I'm saying? Whereas with the percentage drivers, what I'm noticing is that they just don't work hard. Not saying that they don't work hard, they just they work quote unquote smarter. So smarter is that they don't have to put as many miles on their truck as the guys who are flat rate, and they still make as much, if not more, than the guys who are flat rate. But then it begs the question, Is it that they're making more percentage because they have a monthly truck payment? Because 9 times out of 10, with the exception of Prime, 9 times out of 10, when you see a driver who's getting paid percentage, they have a monthly truck payment. So then, if the flat rate guy had a monthly truck payment, would it then even it out? Or does it not matter? I'm just asking. You know, I know my comment section gonna go bananas, so I'm asking questions. I'm one of the few YouTubers who pay attention to comment section. So when y'all post all kind of crazy shit, I'm watching. I might not respond to it all, but I watch it all. So it's just I want to get some insight on this. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, is it getting paid by the load? I know somebody who owns trucks and they get paid by each load that they do. You know, like more so like in the port. Back home down in the mill in North Carolina, or hauling certain specialized product, they get paid by the load. So, but 9 times out of 10 with those situations, most of the time when you're getting paid by the load, that's more of a local, like I said, and that's why it's kind of hard to compare local and OTR. But you're local, so you're on air miles. For those who don't understand what that means if your destination is not outside of 100-mile radius from your origin, you are now under air miles, which means you don't have to worry about e-logs. You get 16 hours to be on duty, and it's 16 hours because they give you an extra 2 hours to return back to your original origin. Somebody correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I was just doing it for 7 months, so you know I might have a little bit of information on it. So with those guys and girls that do that, they are able to depend. I guess it's a lot of things that go into that as well, because they can have a great day where they make just as much as a percentage driver or a flat rate driver in the day because they did a lot of loads. You know what I'm saying? Or they may have a situation, if we're talking about fleet owners, where they pull for like a meal, or they pull for somewhere that's a 24-hour situation. Now they can hire multiple drivers for different shifts. Granted, they got to pay those drivers more, but the truckers making more. So I guess it's give or take. But I'm just trying to, you know, I feel like, honestly, I just look at my situation in this particular truck. I wonder if I was getting paid 50% after fuel, would it be different? I'm almost certain that it would. I'm almost certain that it would. Because I've seen situations where you have owners of trucks or companies where they're only paying the driver, let's just say, flat rate, or they're paying them a salary. And so when they get paid that salary, that's what you make no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So, but see, the thing about that is, now are you doing more work than the salary that you're making? I mean, I guess it makes sense when you go home and you continue to make that salary, so I guess it evens out. But I don't know. I'm just trying to get a better understanding of the trucking industry, which is why I'm trying to build my business and my first business, primary business. So I'm just trying to get a better understanding. So let's somebody tell me. Somebody respond in a video. If you owner operator, if you a company driver, everybody, you know what I'm saying? What do you feel like is the best way to be paid as a truck driver? Hourly, salary, paid by the load, paid by the miles, or paid a percentage? I would say contract, but that's more the authority side. So them the big boys. They shitting on all, they boo-booing on all us. They just looking down on us like ghosting all them. They got their authority. They just all on us. So I don't even want y'all input. Y'all got it. But for the people like me that's just trying to figure it out, what is the best way to be paid? A high flat rate or a decent flat rate to where you can make a consistent certain amount of money. A set salary that you're gonna make no matter what, whether you work more than what that salary was or you work less. Flat rate, where it's just a matter of how much work you put in. By the load, again, depending on how much work you put in. Or percentage, yeah, it's still based on how much work you put in, but if you get a nice rate, if you get a nice percentage of a high rate, now you're not doing as much work as, say, someone who was flat rate, who gotta run crazy sometimes. I'm just, I don't know. I'm not taking no shit. I hope don't nobody get offended. I hope that I ain't misrepresent any one of those pay structures. I'm just trying to get information for my damn self, okay? I ain't asking for a friend. I'm asking for a guy named Jay, okay? So what is it? You know what I'm saying? Let me know educate me, because we got so many trucking geniuses in my comments section. Apparently, everybody that know everything about every goddamn thing. So let me hear what y'all got to say, man. But as always, stay safe, stay positive, stay productive. God Family Trucking. Gang!